Finally ready. Let's bring in Managing Director of the Nigeria Railway Corporation, Opeifa. Mr. Opeifa, thank you for joining us on the news tonight as well. There are a lot of developments, a lot of versions to this story, but you know, Nigerians often complain that safety lapses and poor maintenance are recurring with our railway system. What have you gathered so far?
Thank you very much. I'm not going to say there are no concerns, but I am not on that position that there are safety concerns. This is an accident. And like the MD of NSIB tells you, conduct investigation. It's better you don't speculate. This is a technical, systemic issue involving electromechanical devices, human beings, weather, persons, and the rest. So what is important for us is to get the true story of what happened and then give the accurate report and follow the recommendations. But in terms of safety and security, I don't know when last we heard of this kind of incidents. You have the Derailment. Just July 28th, there was one in Germany, and it resulted in fatality. So it does happen. But what is more important is the evacuation methodology and preventive issues put in place. In this case, it was properly managed. The protocol was ignited. Thank God we have NSIB in place. We contacted Federal Ministry of Health. We contacted the military who moved in within minutes. Helicopters were there moving around. Everybody was secured. And I even went there. I left there at about 6 p.m. tonight. So the situation is under control. And as we go, cooperate with all investigative agencies to get to the bottom of the matter. But by and large, the media should get out of the speculative situation because it will derail investigation. It will color it and it will make people not in good position to come to the right judgment.
Well, the media, broadcast media, as I'm aware, isn't speculating. That's why we've brought stakeholders like you to speak to the issue. I'm curious about the kind of collaboration that we are to expect between NRC and the NSIB investigation to provide transparency. And will you be making these findings public to reassure Nigerians that lessons have truly been learned?
Okay, in the transport sector, safety is purely at the desk of the chief executive. So I will take full responsibility for the investigation from my end to make sure that NSIB gets all cooperation that is needed. Don't forget, when this thing happens sometimes in Lagos, at the beginning of the coming in place of NSIB, the NSIB and the Nigerian Railway Corporation cooperated very well. And just recently, about a month ago, we had a stakeholder engagement involving NRC, NEWA, NSIB, and the other transport agencies, where we all pledge to make sure Nigeria is safe, and where we have an incident, we'll get to the bottom of the incident. Personally, I'm vouching for Nigerians. We'll get to the bottom of this, and I want to assure you, despite this incident, that will be thoroughly investigated, our railway systems are safe. Where we find unsafe situation, we shut it down. And we have done that at the slightest opportunity twice this year.
Beyond today's response and the emergency response we've reported, walk us quickly through the concrete safety upgrades and preventive measures that Nigerians can look forward to, because it's important that we reassure them right now that rail travel remains safe going forward.
Okay, first thing on the rail track is that there is inspection before the first train moves in the morning to make sure that the entire track is safe, and that was done in this case. Also, just 30 minutes or 1 hour before this incident, a train just passed through the same place without any hiccup until this one happened. Then the next thing that happens is that when the driver are on the locomotive drivers are on, they communicate with the ground crew to complain of what they see on the track. They complain about engine sounds and the rest. And we have a system where we all contribute on a regular basis. That's why we're able to respond quickly. And in this case, all the responders were called by messages and immediate phone calls, and they all responded within 5 minutes.
Opeifa is Managing Director.
And the next thing that will now happen is that
Indeed. Please go ahead. I thought you wrapped up your thought there.
Yeah, the next thing that will then happen is that investigation will come. From the investigation will come. If there are defects found, we'll fix them. If there are human error, we'll retrain. And if there are systemic problems, we'll put up a new protocol to make sure such things doesn't occur. But we want to apologize to all Nigerians for this inconvenience, for those who have bought tickets. And we want to say that the payment is being refunded as I speak to you in full. And we want to assure that as soon as the investigation clears the track, it will be fixed and the train services will commence back.
How long do you envisage this rail track? Oh, I was just going to ask how soon you think this rail track will be closed for?
It will be very swift. Don't forget, after the Kaduna situation, it was fixed and it was done by the Nigerian Railway Corporation. So the capacity to get it back is our technical partners who are on ground. This involves the use of concrete sleepers. We're already working on Kano-Kaduna routes where we are using a lot of concrete sleepers. We have a lot of iron rails that we can use in this case, and we have cranes. By this time tomorrow, all the trains should be off the track to allow for proper investigation and restoration of the track. So it's about a 100 meters stretch that has to be worked on. And luckily, it's close to a community on both sides of the rail track. The Asham community also has a parallel road to the scene of the incident.
Good place to leave it. MD Nigeria Railway Corporation, Opeifa, thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you very much.
And coming up on TVC News at 10, Academic Staff Union of Universities hold protests across campuses to demand implementation of